And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at this game from Queen, which translated means Dragon Valley. This is a game basically for kids in which you will use magic wands. Actually, it's a dexterity game where you're going to be picking up dragons with these magic wands. But the trick is, I'm not doing it by myself, I'm doing it with another person. And we together have to use these sticks to carry a dragon from a tower, freeing him from the tower back to the Valley of the Dragons, where they all live very happily. Here's how it plays. Now with this game, you're going to be putting a lid on top of the box here like this, and there's some trees and bushes that are put on here. Over here you have a tower that you'll build. There's a track here where there's a village, and this magician, the evil sorcerer, starts on the village. You're going to hand out the different colored dragon cards to the different players. There's a certain way to do it, so maybe I have a yellow, blue, and red card, and the next person has a red, orange, and purple card, and so on and so forth. As long as people have the different colors, you won't have two of the same color. Now, when it's a player's turn, we roll the die, all right, and we look. Now, if it shows a dragon, this is the most common thing that will be rolled on this die, then you're going to pull a random dragon from the bag. So we pull here, and we get the yellow dragon. The two players who have the yellow dragon card are going to have to use magic wands to move that dragon from the tower to the box. And you're supposed to put them a certain distance apart. Now there's easy magic wands and there are hard ones that are thinner. And the two players who have the yellow card are each going to use a magic wand, pick up the dragon, and move it from there to the box. And the dragon has to land either standing up or on its side. So I did not do a very good job of it. And I'm doing it by myself. When you add another person in, or when you use these black sticks, it can be much harder. So there, I made that one legitimately. But again, I did that by myself as opposed to with someone else. And so you're like wobbling together to get it across. If it fails, each person passes their card to the next person, and you will roll this black die. When you roll this black die, it's going to show 1, 2, or 3 of the sorcerer. That's how far he moves on the path. If you roll a hat, he moves to the next hat. When you're rolling the white die, if you roll a dragon and this stone, that means when you move the dragon, you also have to move the stone with it. So you're putting them together, which really makes it harder because now you have another piece that's sliding around between them. And again, if you drop them, the same penalty applies. If you roll the sun, he moves back 1 spot. And if you roll the wizard, he moves forward 1 spot. If he gets to the tower, then everyone loses. Otherwise, everyone wins when all the dragons have been pulled from the bag. There's 6 dragons in this bag. When all of them have been pulled from the bag and make it to the box successfully, when that happens, the game is over. You remember I said there's 2 different magic wands that you can use. There's also, you can have these tiles that you can draw, which make you hold the magic wand with only 2 fingers, or you have to put it in the hand, or your other hand is covering one of your eyes, etc. And that's a way to make the game harder. It's a cooperative game, so everyone's going to win or lose together. The concept for this game is fine. And I almost feel like the concept of the game should be enough, maybe, but I'm going to say it's not. The idea of using this and someone else using it, first of all, it's pretty hard. Especially, I mean, these are the easy sticks. The black sticks are pretty hard. It's going to take people a while to get used to it, and you're watching the other person. You better be in the middle of the dragon as much as you possibly can. You're working together to carry it. Very difficult thing. You can make it harder or easier by moving it farther away from the box or closer to the box. The problem is there's kind of a bit of overproduction done here. There's this big box with these, there's a tree here and a bush that goes in the box. Why is this here? There's absolutely no reason. There's no reason to even have the box. I could have just flipped the box over and put them on the back of the box. It's a lot of extra pieces, and that's fine, but that's just a lot of extra stuff for essentially what is just carrying a dragon with 2 sticks. Secondly, this track is super short. You make a mistake and move the guy 3, 1, 2, 3. Then you roll a die and he moves forward on 1 automatically. Then someone else makes a mistake and you move 3. Boom. Game's already over. That's 2 mistakes that were made. And you say, that might not happen. But yeah, it really might happen. 2 or 3 mistakes can easily end the game, especially if you roll the die that just moves the guy forward. And for kids, it's really discouraging because this is a game where you're like, oh, let's work together. And if you mess up, fine. But in this game, if you mess up, you basically have lost. You only can mess up once maybe and get away with it. And even then, sometimes you just get unlucky by rolling that die. 1 out of every 6 times, he's moving forward. Sure, he'll move back sometimes too, but it's kind of like I said, I don't know why the track's longer. The game concept of doing this is neat. So if you're going to get the game, get it for that purpose. Do this, pick up the dragons, move them, make up some sort of game maybe to go around that. The game included with the box, I think they had this cool concept. Ooh, moving dragons in Dragon Valley. But the rest of the game, even kids are like, what? We didn't even get a chance to really go yet. I do like the different colors are spread out. So, the red dragon, that's me and Susan. Or the blue dragon, that's Susan and Bob. And the orange dragon is Bob and me. And that's a good concept. And mixing and matching this is good. Unfortunately, the game itself I don't think is enough to carry the concept. And for kids, there's a lot of other great dexterity games in this genre out there already. Dice Tower Judgment, not enough game.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door!